I won't tell you what it is, but something could happen in this episode that I have already signed off with Jaffe that if it happens, everyone gets a credit.
Okay.
Me as well? Do I get to earn credits?
Absolutely. If this happens or if you win the episode.
Nice. Okay, great. That's my one hope for appearing on Instant Credit is to eventually slowly build up just enough credits that I can make you all do something.
To host an episode at 10 of them.
Yeah. I don't want to host an episode. I just want to make you play something.
Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Sensible soccer episode.
We're going to be playing sensible soccer. I'm going to be so bored.
No, I wouldn't do it. Like, I was like, I'll make you play ZX Spectrum Batman, but I would not do that to anyone. It's so painful.
Yeah.
No.
I have to rule on that in
You
some
can't
case.
actually play that game. You could follow a walkthrough, I guess, but you can't actually play that game.
All I need are tasty waves and total carnage. This is episode 436 of Insert Credit, the only video game podcast normally featuring Alex Jaffe, who's off for Passover, happy Passover, and is filled in by me, an radical buzzer. I'm Esper Quinn, and my attacks are water element aligned.
I'm Frank Cifaldi. How you doing? My attacks are fire elemental lined. Was lined the word you used?
Aligned is the word I used.
Aligned. Oh, that makes way more sense than lined. Yeah.
They're lined with water. Is what
Minor
I'm
college
saying.
ruled.
Yeah. Well, I'm fire aligned. I'm aligned with fire.
Got it.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and my attacks, I wish I could say something other than Earth, but it's probably Earth. It's probably bornal Earth. Just what if it was grass or something? Bug type.
You could be like a plant type or nature element.
That's not one of the Captain Planet powers.
Doesn't need to be. I didn't impose any particular Greek occultist beliefs or anything.
All right, I want to be gem type. I want to do gem damage.
Gem? There you go. You could be gems and crystals.
Yeah, I'm using gems and crystals. It's still Earth, though. I can't get away from it.
Well, filling in for Ash Parrish this week is one of the good friends of the show for a long time now. Writer at EXP Zine, Mathew Kumar has returned.
Hey, I think that my alignment is, I'm one of those no alignment characters. They just don't have a line.
Normal
type. They have normal type, but they have crits, right? But my crits start very low. And it's like 1%.
So you've prestige classed into assassin.
Yeah, 1%, 2%. And it's like, you just stick with it because every time they hit, you're like, oh, that's so good. Like, I'm so happy I got that crit. Even though your damage potential is like so much lower than anything else that you could choose to do. But you're just chasing those crits, baby.
I mean,
it makes sense that Mathew Kumar would not have an alignment because he's so apolitical. So, yeah.
Yes, true.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is actually going to be my 7th time hosting the show, which puts me ahead of everyone except for Jaffe.
Nice.
Wow. This is the first episode ever that I have had almost entirely complete creative control over, and I'm going to exploit that by making it the easiest to produce episode of Insert Credit of all time. And I'm going to do that by pointedly bringing up video footage that I already have downloaded to use in the YouTube edition this week.
Nice.
Jaffe signed off on it. We're good to go.
What if I just start referencing PC Engine games out of the blue, though? What are you going to do?
That's totally great. We're going to continue looking at what I put up. Okay.
and
so just be aware, this footage of Bungie's newest game, Marathon, has me wondering, what would it take to personally get you into a live service game? Hard mode, no mobile games.
Yeah, okay.
Well, first of all, sorry to interrupt, Brandon. I got to just say really quick, the footage we're seeing on screen really now, I'm really offended by, and I'm sure it's very clear why that would be the case. Sorry, go ahead, Brandon. I just had to get that out.
Yeah, you don't want to associate yourself with the kind of filth that we're watching right now.
Awful.
This is that old Who's Line improv game. I love it.
That's right. To get me into, I think the clear thing is somebody else does most of the work for me to get stuff set up.
Mm-hmm.
That's part one.
When you say most of the work to get set up, how does that include making you an account? What do you mean there?
It might mean making me an account, or it might mean meeting me somewhere where I already have an account.
Okay.
Like, so
it has to be a PSN game or something.
Or I still have Xbox Live,
Okay.
I don't use it, but so something like that. And then people that I know and like have to be playing it. That's critical. And also, I have to magically have so much free time that I'm willing to do that. I have to have so much free time that I'm like, yeah, I will spend a few hours playing an online video game with some people, knowing full well that the first half hour is going to be fiddling with stuff at the minimum, and trying to figure it out.
So if it's something where everyone's figuring it out all at the same time, is that if everyone's like, hey, we're all jumping into this, all you got to do is log in.
Yeah.
None of us know what we're doing. That's okay.
But the other factors have to be true, I imagine, before.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing is to tip it over is if it's cooperative, it's a lot more likely to get me in there than if it is competitive. If I have to compete against young people, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Matthew, how about you? Do you play this kind of stuff already? I actually don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I played Fortnite for a pretty large time through the pandemic and stuff because it was an easy way to get to hang out with my friends. And it's a sort of like chill game where you really don't have to play it properly, and it's not just like you're chatting and then you're like, oh, we're dead, some guy with 200 levels just killed us. But I don't think that's really like where I would go at this point, because the problem with like most of these games is that, well, there's one problem, which is a major problem, which is everyone still makes it really hard to do crossplay. And I think it's mostly Sony that's still the problem with that. And that's like a huge pain, which is like, because not everyone I know like necessarily wants to play on PC or whatever like that, which is what all I play now, because it's just like, why fucking like spend Bitcoin money on a PS5 at this point or whatever?
Yeah, high five, finally, a brother for me on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly Steam Deck, to be honest, because it's just easy.
The same
it's
thing.
just the perfect item, basically, to me at this point. Like, I've just been playing, totally aside, I've just been playing PSP on it. I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Why doesn't everyone have one of these? But to actually talk about live service games, the issue is that, like, I tried to play like Helldivers 2 and things like that, is that if you don't get your hook into it and you don't really care what's going on, it's eventually quite repetitive. It's just like, well, I just do another mission. What's the point? I actually think the one way you could get me playing live service game now is something that's probably totally blue sky and would never happen, which is like, it works more like a TV show, right? Basically, every week there's an hour of content that has like a beginning, an end. You cooperatively work through it. You could do it at any point during the week. And if you miss that week, it kind of goes, here's a sort of a recap of what happened last week, like the planet exploded, whatever. Now you're playing this part. You missed the EXP or whatever. I don't want to buy clothes. I don't want to buy like emotes. None of that stuff matters to me. Like, none of that is interesting, but like something where I feel like I've come up and it's like, oh, I've enjoyed a story or something like that could get me coming back on a weekly basis, and that would draw me back. But all of these games, like Fortnite's the one I played longest, and even at that, like, it's the idea of playing Fortnite now is like, why would I do that? It's so boring. Like, it's just the same thing. It's been the same thing for years and years. And, everyone's up on Marathon right now, but I'm not interested in extraction shooters. I don't think that is going to be something I enjoy. Like, there's been a lot of discussion about how the sort of the play style, like, in terms of like, it's like you're sneaking in, you're trying to get stuff, other people can grief you. Anything where griefing is a thing that can happen, I don't think I'm too interested in.
I do like the stories that pop up of cooperation in spite of griefing. I've heard a lot of very cool marathon stories. But yeah, I haven't played it because I'm worried I'm going to spend $40 on a game where I'm going to get headshot 3 times and realize, yep, not playing this.
Yeah, and that's for me. I think I've said this before, but I think I don't care for playing games. I care for like experiences with friction, like I don't consider like a Metroidvania a game in the way I would like a Fortnite. And so it's art. I like art. No, I don't, going home and dealing with people is not my idea of relaxation, because that's what I do all day, and no offense, Phil, I met other people. And like, that's just, I want to be in total control, and I want to be by myself and just play something that was crafted for me. So I've never played a live service game in any real way, or even an MMO, and it's possible for something to grab me, but nothing has yet.
If it were possible for something to be as fun as 4 players playing Left 4 Dead against the computer
in 2008,
and for that to be a live service game, that would be something. But I don't really think that that's possible in the same way.
The one major attempt we've seen hasn't seemed entirely successful.
I don't think it's really possible. I don't think it makes sense as a live service game.
I see. Okay.
Adding a bunch of new content to it constantly is probably going to make it worse rather than better. Or samey again. Like that game works because it has X number of maps, and it feels different when you play it each time a little bit, but it's consistent. You know what you're doing, but also you're not going to play it every day. You're going to play it every couple of weeks. Yeah, I think it just doesn't really, the setup isn't right.
That brings us to time. And speaking of playing things other than video games, this footage of ambient Death Stranding hiking has me wondering, has playing a video game ever led you to taking up a non-video game related hobby?
Ooh.
Good question.
Seems like maybe the answer is no.
Probably.
Seems like.
But have you ever attempted to skateboard after Tony Hawk or something like that?
No. I'm giving this real thought. I don't want to dismiss it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not for me. All my hobbies kind of came baked in with my character set, I think.
The one good thing about BioShock Infinite was that after that I started using my grappling cannon to go on rails a lot more. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you were just climbing before that, not railing.
Yeah,
I remember those days.
I saw the rails there, but it never occurred to me to try to grapple onto them.
It was probably Sonic that got me hoarding gems, like we were talking about at the top of the show.
Now you're aligned that way. Very influential. Well, if you want to swerve on this, we could go with the inverse that I was also considering. Due to this footage of me playing Magic the Gathering, is there a hobby you have in real life that you think would make for an especially good video game? Maybe answers to that is no as well. I'm 0 for 2.
I'm thinking.
Problem for me with all these questions is my hobby is video games, basically.
Sure.
It's like,
that's
like mostly
time there.
Like, what I do is if I'm like, I'm just going to play a game and then I'm going to write about it. That's like my hobby. So it's like, I mean, other than that, everything else I do is like, I run, I work out. Like, I mean, those are things that I would definitely not rather do in a video game, I cook, there's a result to that.
I was going to say cook too, because all of my hobbies, I think, have a real life payoff. Like something happens because of it. And I don't want to just feed that energy into a machine. Nothing comes out of it.
I think that is something really interesting though about a current thing that's going on with the games that was discussed recently in terms of Crimson Desert, right? Which was that and Pokopia, right? The Pokemon game. People are kind of like starting to push back on this idea that they're going to go into a game and just like do Yard Work Simulator or whatever like that. Cause they're kind of like, I'm doing something that's just kind of like a job or a hobby or something. If I did external to this, there would be more of a reward to rather than just numbers going up. And actually, I think personally, like I've definitely turned away from that sort of thing. So when I look at a game that people are like, oh, it's great, like Power Washing Simulator or video store owner or something, I'm like, it's just sort of like doing a job. And I think that if I was going to do that, I should just do it in real life, like, because there's always like netting simulator or something, there probably is, right? Why not just net, right, at that point? So I do feel like sort of like there should be more. It's like my partner, right? She's always like, I look at my phone too much. I'm looking at the screens too much. I'd be better reading or doing something else. It feels like putting all these things to games is actually like, even there's been discussion about gambling, but the discussion of like just like doing day-to-day normal tasks you're doing like in games feels just as sort of not concerning as the word, but like maybe you should think about, why am I doing this in the game when I could be doing something else almost, like what's the pleasure of this in a game versus the pleasure of it in real life? And generally the pleasure is these type of like eked out reward systems of like EXP and score and gaining new items, which is like gamification. Yeah, that's the word, right? It's gamification, which when you think about it is actually not really always healthy. So I think, hobbies shouldn't go into games. Those type of games shouldn't necessarily be hobbies. Like, I said gaming was my hobby, but a lot of that's related to like learning about the history of them, like finding stuff about them, the research that happens after is very much part of that hobby, and that's what makes it interesting to me, rather than just like. And I think I made it a hobby because I didn't want to be the experience of just consumption, right? Because so much of like the things we do, watching TV or whatever, it's like you get the sense of you're a consumer, not engaging with the thing.
But do we think that there's a potential video game design in video game history? Could you make a video game out of studying game history or doing game history studies?
You do like a trivia game or whatever, I guess, but I mean, it's I could gamify writing metadata for our catalog and get free labor or something, I guess. But
that's probably
that's again just gamification stuff.
Yeah, but I actually wanted to circle back because I did think of one. So I don't know if it's a hobby or that I'm actually practicing this so much as like I thought about it. But when we did our Game of the Year episode, my Game of the Year was Wander Stop, which was a game about just like shutting up and sipping your tea and just like being comfortable with yourself quietly. It probably affected me therapeutically at least a little bit in terms of like being able to just be quiet and chill, right? Instead of like having to do something all the time. It did make me consider maybe I'm a tea guy now, but it didn't pan out that way. But I could see it going that way. Like I could see becoming a tea guy after playing Wander Stop.
Too bad that company went under after that. I was going to say that unfortunately, I think my hobbies are sort of in that, like...
Well, I was going to say, you put film reviews into Demon School. That's kind of at least kind of making a video game out of a thing.
That's true. Well, that's more like I'm very able to turn anything I'm doing into work.
Right. Well, yeah, that's fair.
Which is unfortunate. But like, one of the things I like to do is go record shopping or thrift shopping or whatever. And I'm essentially sifting through a bunch of stuff to find something shiny. And that's basically what gacha games are emulating, is that experience. And so I feel like
shiny finding instinct.
Yeah, the things that I have tried to, the things that I do for hobbies are like people try to make those into video games, unfortunately. And I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, here at question 3, since last question kind of got merged into 2 of them. Brandon, before the show, you mentioned you had something that maybe you wanted to bring up.
Yes, I do. So I will spend...
And you are spending a credit to do it.
I'm going to spend a credit and ask a question. And it's weirdly, it's sort of similar-ish to the questions that you were asking already.
Perfect. I'll probably have footage for it then.
I want to know if you've ever watched or enjoyed something that was like based on a game, but it was another piece of media, like a movie or a book first, and then you bought the game as a result of that. Because, like, for example, this wouldn't be the case for you all, but Sega's sales of Sonic games have been increasing since the Sonic movie. Many young people are purchasing Sonic after having seen the Sonic movie. Then they go buy a Sonic game, buy their first Sonic game or whatever. Sure. And this actually happened to me recently, and I realized it was the first time ever. And so that's why I brought this up. But that anime that I liked, Gnosia, is based on a video game. And I watched the anime first, and I liked the first 2/3 of the anime enough that I was like, I should play this game. And then I bought it, and I haven't played it yet, but I have it now. And so has that ever happened to any of you?
I think the only example that comes to mind of me seeing something based on the game before playing the game was the Mortal Kombat animated series as like a little kid.
Oh, wow.
I played that before playing Mortal Kombat, although I wouldn't say that I ever played Mortal Kombat because of that.
Well, I was going to say, were you like, oh, this is great.
It's like, I gotta hang out with Nighthawk and stuff. Maybe I saw. Maybe that's true of like the Street Fighter movie too.
I was feeling like that could be possible for somebody, but I don't know if you would then go play.
It wouldn't make me want to go play Street Fighter.
I mean, the problem with this question is that I'm old. Like I was there for the introductions of all characters, basically.
Yeah.
On a technicality. I'm pretty sure that as a very young child, I probably saw the Pac-Man cartoon before playing Pac-Man the video game, but I don't think that I was like, oh, that's based on the cartoon. My memory, as it is probably nonsense at this point for any memory when I was that young, it's probably all made up, but my memory says that I knew it was a video game already while watching the cartoon, so I don't think that counts. I think Brandon's example is like the only possible one that could happen for me, which is like, oh, I didn't know that this fairly obscure piece of media was based on an obscure video game.
Like if you watch the Crow movie, you might not have been like, that was a comic.
Yes, the comic book I can probably answer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I went back and read the comic because of the movie, right? I don't know that I've ever done that, but if I really searched, I might be able to. But for video games, it's really hard for me to imagine.
But just to confirm, the parameters of the question, are they that you didn't know was a video game and went back and played a video game, or that you just experienced the other thing first? Because that changes my answer a bit.
I guess, it's that your first awareness of it was the other piece of media, not the video game.
Yeah, so because I don't know if it's kind of the same as Frank, where I'm like, I'm probably old enough that that's generally not true. And I'd played Gnosia like well before the anime came out, even as an example.
Nice.
But the most clearest example I can give of experiencing the other piece of art before experience that is, we didn't, I grew up in the UK. The Nintendo, the NES was not really a factor there. But what you could get as a child was the Worlds of Power books. Do you know that? Remember those, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
And those were novelizations of NES games. So the ones which I remember very specifically reading and rereading was Wizards and Warriors, was Blaster Master, and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, right? So I had those three. I actually also had or purchased the Metal Gear book, but there was a misprint of that where the book was the beginning of the book was printed twice in the copy I bought. So I had to return it, and all the copies they had were like that. So I guess I never actually ended up getting the Metal Gear book, basically, which I was annoyed by because I was really enjoying it.
Well, you're supposed to read it in a certain order to unlock the back half.
Classic Kojima business.
Yeah. Nice.
We all got fooled by that one.
I thought of a second one, actually.
A mastermind.
That I can imagine may have gotten you all as well. Maybe not, though.
Okay.
Pokemon. I did not, when I saw the cartoon, I thought it was a cartoon. And then I found out that it was a game after.
I knew about the game first, but I was like on the bus with other kids who had the game, and like that
I was a little too old.
We were watching the cartoon.
Yeah, I was also a little too old. My first experience at all with Pokemon, which I think is true of a lot of people of a certain age or older, was the news stories about people in Japan having seizures.
Battling seizure robots, as they referred to it in The Simpsons.
I'm really happy with this object. We haven't quite finished processing it here at the Foundation, but we have someone's off-screen. Someone took a camcorder to the first 3 E3s and just filmed a lot of stuff, including the press conferences. And he's filming the sizzle reel for them introducing Pokemon to the US, which is already cool. But you hear him whisper something like, "That's the thing that gave people seizures." In the video. And it's like, that's perfect. That is a cultural moment where like that's how we knew Pokemon was. I remember it's like a David Letterman joke or something, and so, yes, I definitely only knew of Pokemon as a cartoon before I experienced the game, but I didn't like enjoy it and then go seek out the game, which I think is kind of what you're asking. I think I just knew about it first as a cartoon.
Well, it reminds me, I actually went out today and saw a movie based on a game I haven't played called Super Mario Galaxy. So I'll play that and get back to you. Does that fit within the spirit of the question?
I think it does,
because that's time.
But you knew about it already.
We'll see.
You knew about it.
You can't prove that. So
that's right.
But on the topic of E3 keynotes, this footage of Cyberpunk 2077's E3 demo has me wondering, if you had access to hardware and a team to implement it and funding and whatever you need to make the most impressively realistic 3D graphics ever in a video game, what game would you make?
Oh my.
Everything you need to a system seller is what they're expecting.
I think. Well, I don't need to sell anything, right? I just have infinite budget for whatever I want, right? According to your question. So I would do some kind of wildlife photography simulator. I would do something where
Africa on PS3.
Yeah, like that. But I was going to say, but good. But I've never played it. It was probably fine. But I mean, if I have infinite graphic capability, I'm like...
You have current state of the art, like the team that will get it done.
Right.
Unreal
Engine 12. Sounds like
12.
Infinite budget, right? So I'm going to...
More or less,
I'm going to model every one of God's creatures, is what I'm going to do. And all of that is going to be free on the asset store at the conclusion of this project, is what I'm going to do here. And we're going to do a wildlife photography game.
Perfect.
I'm probably going to do some kind of dystopian Yakuza with strong Eastern European sci-fi leanings to it. Is what I'm going to do.
So something totally out of left field for you.
Yeah. If we're talking about infinite budget type thing, I want to do something that's going to be very interesting to me. And so that's what's going to happen. Oh, my daily call from Kentucky about my loan is happening. So that's really good.
If you need to take the break right now, we can cut to it.
Every single day I get a spam AI call. Now it's just from Kentucky. It used to be all over the Middle West and South. Informing me that my loan, which keeps increasing in value, by the way, just slightly, they just need to dot a few I's, cross a few T's. They just need to do, a couple checks, and my loan is going to be approved. So everybody look forward to that.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? Sorry to interrupt. It just drives me insane. These people.
It's very strange, Brandon, because the game I was going to pitch is actually called Kentucky Loan Arranger. Like, I want to use all those graphics to just perfectly recreate sort of a small, boarding office park somewhere in Kentucky, where you are, just calling people. You said AI, though, unfortunately, which is we will not use. No AI in this game.
Right.
You have to be making those calls yourself. And actually, the trick is that we've set it up so that when you're calling people, you're actually calling someone in a real world's phone, and then you have to try and convince them
harassing them for money.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And then any of the money that comes to us, the company. Like, it's going to be huge on TikTok.
Web3 is incredible. I'm all in.
I have one more idea. It's only half formed. This game has an audience of one. It is designed to fool the President of the United States into thinking that that the things that he's doing are affecting a lot of stuff, but he's only just in this one room, affecting only the things in that room. He sees like Fox News, he sees the explosions he wants to see, he sees all that stuff, but nothing's actually happening. He's just
It's a situation room simulator.
This requires
somebody's got to sneak it in there.
Ability
and then lock
to
him in there.
Manipulate things with his hand like a controller, and I don't know. That's
no. Steel Battalion deck on there. You're fine.
It can be basically a realistic FMV, an FMV game essentially. That's just
it's
playing.
It's just his TV channel.
It's his TV channel, but it's reacting to like a live feed of him that's in there, and it's like a live service game. We're doing this on the fly.
Heart pressure monitors and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't mean to break this illusion you have here, but you don't understand there's a whole system behind this guy, right? It's not just one guy. Like, basically what you're saying is like actually
that's
what
basically
to do is
what
like,
they're doing to him as is.
Yeah, correct.
They've created this field of illusion around him, like so where he believes that so they can get what they want. So I would say that
I control the field of illusion now because he's still erratic circle. And signing his executive orders and whatever kind of stuff. If I can control the illusion field, I can push things in another direction. That's all I'm saying.
Put a fake truth social post field in there that you can.
It's
just
not realistic,
into.
Matthew Kumar. It's not going to happen in real life.
It's just we went from like you have contemporary best graphics ever. You're like, I want to fool the President of the United States into doing good things with that. It's like, it's such a huge leap.
Yeah, well, I have infinite budget, dude.
And I'm not recommending this. There are much, much better ways to deal with heads of state that people don't like. I mean, I just think maybe you should look at certain parts of history
That's time. Sure. We're going to go ahead and cut it there before we say anything actionable. We'll be right back.
My computer likes to log myself out of as many things as possible just periodically, and that just happened, so I just wanted to.
Nice.
The thing that logs me out constantly is Facebook. I only log into Facebook just to post articles. Like, I never look at it otherwise. And every time it happens, it's like, why am I logging back into this? Like, I don't want to log back into this. But I just do it anyway so that 4 people can look at the thing I wrote.
All those Facebook numbers. Can't pass that up. Money on the table. Hello and welcome back to Insert Credit. We're going to go to the question hole, which we go to every episode. Not true, but we say it every time for some reason. This is the part of our show where you can... Not every time. This is the part of our show where patrons at patreon.com/insertcredit can submit questions to get their questions answered on air by real, honest video game experts. This question comes from Alex Jaffe, who says, this footage of Silent Hill 2 that we use for the question hole every week has me wondering, what would Silent Hill look like if you went there?
Oh.
What is your Silent Hill?
That's a good question.
Does it change visually? I thought it was always just like your town.
They look like monsters to you?
Yeah,
isn't that the line?
So there was, okay. So I think I've said this on the show before, but to me, Silent Hill is 2 games. It's Silent Hill 2 is the first game and Silent Hill F is the second one. So that is my frame of reference. Did play a little bit of Silent Hill 1, which is the prototype of Silent Hill 2, the first Silent Hill. So I believe it to just be like it's foggy, but like the monsters might change, right? Also, you might see the world on fire, right? Like that, because that's something.
Sometimes everything turns into blood and muscle.
For me, it's always like this, I believe. Okay. Was the line. Yeah. So it's kind of in that spirit, right? Like, is the world always on fire? Are all of the people around you just made of lady parts sewn together, right? Like that's okay. That's the spirit of the question.
Messed up. I think they're messed up, weird manifestations of your internal traumas and psyches.
And the town is usually somewhere where a traumatic thing happened, so it isn't
right.
It's not the same town every time. So for me, it'd probably be San Francisco. And I'm not sure what's going on in it. I don't want to get too deep into my own.
I don't know that was Jaffe's intent. I don't think he was trying to
out here. But how else are you supposed to do it? I mean, that's what this series is about.
That's a good point.
Expose all of your deepest psychosexual problems to everyone.
I do want to graft onto your game here though and be like after you beat Brandon's, you can play my scenario because I think San Francisco is the right place for mine too. I don't know what the traumatic event is, but downtown San Francisco on a weekday lately is very Silent Hill. I think it's a good setting.
There's fog.
Yeah.
Plenty of fog if you need that. And there's a lot of good zones to get to. I think, like, let's say, for example, after the .com bust or whatever, and all the buildings are like empty and stuff, and you got to go through these skyscrapers, and there's
chased through offices by Pyramid Head.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. Derelict, flipped over cable car and whatnot. There's all kinds of good stuff you could do there. So
sounds cool.
But what is the source of your deepest trauma, though, Brandon?
It's just San Francisco in general.
It's just that San Francisco.
Matthew, you got anything?
I don't know, man. I was like trying to think of like, my subconscious, right? What's my subconscious doing when I'm dreaming? And like in most cases, there's 2 options. One, late for a plane. That's always happening.
Yeah.
The other one is in public and straight Winnie the Poohing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, as I just don't have my bottom on. So like, I would say that So
you have a t-shirt specifically though? You have a shirt but no pants in your dreams?
Shirt, usually, Winnie the Pooh in it. And I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? I have to pull my t-shirt down and try and like...
Wow,
so
okay.
Basically,
that's interesting. I've never had that one. I've literally never had that one. It's like naked or clothed. It's no... There's no halfway.
I'm Winnie the Pooh in it.
I've never Winnie the Pooh'd it. Yeah.
Because I'm always like... Because you're like, like you've got your t-shirt on. It's like, like in bad horror movies, right? This is what it's exactly, right? In bad horror movies, the guy's always like, "Oh, I'm just waking up. Oh my god!" Like, and it's like something he would notice he would notice, except it's not in shot. So we, the audience, so I'm like, in my dream, I'm like, perfect, wearing my t-shirt, loving wearing it. Then it pans down and I'm Winnie the Pooh it. I'm like, oh no, I'm Winnie the Pooh it. And then it's like, and I have to catch a flight to Japan, and it's like 10 minutes. I've got like 10 minutes.
And Pyramid Head is chasing you.
Yeah, that would be my Silent Hill, man. It's like you're in Silent Hill and you have to get to the airport, but look down. Right, that's what it would be.
It's very serious otherwise, but the whole time the player character just does not have anything below the waist.
This Silent Hill will have the fucking longest draw distance you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because the minute fog comes, you're like, fine, there's hundreds of fog. Nobody's going to notice I'm Winnie the Pooh over here. It's just, I'm going to be fine, man. Just fucking dissipate into the fog. But no, this is like you're talking about the last question about fucking like the current modern graphics. That's what it would be like to draw the longest draw distance. Like fucking, you can see Mount Fuji from where I am. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to fly there. You've got 10 minutes. You're trying to fly there.
Oh, your game is also flat Earth. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, flat Earth.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Earth is flat. We all agree that, don't we?
That's what makes the hill so silent. It's flat.
Right. It's got no sound, just travels forever.
Yeah.
I do get the airport one though. Just to say, I do get the airport one, and my dream airports have very weird long hallways that don't make sense, and I think that's a great setting for a Silent Hill. Stupid like there's like abandoned like Hudson News shops that have weird keys in them and stuff like that. Yeah, like you have to like take a pack of gum and chew it, and then like a gem cracks your tooth, and like you need that gem to get into the bathroom. Yeah.
There's like those walkways, but they're all moving the opposite direction you're trying to walk at all times.
Sounds like Frankfurt Airport. I don't know if y'all have ever been there, but
nope.
So that's what it's like.
I believe it.
They got the Hudson News there.
They call it something else, but yes.
the Frankfurt News.
Das Hudson News.
I was going to say Die Hudson.
Das Nudes.
This footage of the longest free fall possible in Tears of the Kingdom has me wondering, what's the most work you've put into doing something in a video game that wasn't explicitly encouraged by the game?
Brandon and I have the exact same story.
Yeah. Oh. and also it's not the only time I've done that. But yeah, you want to tell it?
Sure. Help me fill in gaps. But
sure.
Back when Brandon and I were journalists at the same time for Game Developer Magazine and Gamasutra, at the same time in the same office. We've talked about this before on the show, but this is the era of there was at least one press event walking distance every week, which is a very weird time to have lived through. And I'm glad that I did. It was fun. And there was one event that I believe was for hardware, not games. I think it was a graphics card or something.
I think so.
And they had, was it Far Cry? Was it the first Far Cry?
Crysis 2, I'm pretty sure.
Crysis 2, okay. They had a demo of Crysis 2 just running on the computer. It was not supervised by anyone who worked on Crysis 2. It was supervised by, one of the hardware people who got it there as a demo to show off the hardware. This was a pretty janky build. I would probably call it a vertical slice, right? Where it's like there is one very populated area that you're supposed to like walk around and shoot people in. And it was probably either a hands-off demo or there was like a PR person floating over you saying, don't go that way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember the populated area.
Yeah, there was a populated area that was nice.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's not where either of us like being in these demos. We like leaving. And in my memory, it took about an hour. It was probably more like 15 minutes. But
I don't know how long it was. It was a while.
We started exploring the depths of the map because no one was stopping us. So we were playing this janky Far Cry 2 that, and we were going places we weren't supposed to. And I believe what we discovered was that if you crouch, turn sideways, and strafe jump to the side, you could infinitely climb things.
Very slowly.
Yeah, very slowly. But the rest of the evening became dedicated to finding the edge of this map. That was the game. And
the people there demoing were genuinely interested to see what was going to happen.
Yeah,
nobody was stopping us.
It became a group
I
event.
haven't even looked at this yet.
Yeah. again, my memory is conflating the experience, but I want to say even the other journalists were like crowded around by the end. And we did end up finding the end. Took a while. We found the edge of the map, and it was overlooking infinite water. And I remember everyone watching us, and it being very momentous when we jumped in.
They gave you a trophy.
I don't remember if I remember this correctly, but I remember us jumping into the void and finally falling through the world and everybody cheering.
Yeah, that's my memory is something like that as well.
Okay,
and it was about 300 people. It was like just crowded around. There were banners. Yeah.
And everybody bought that hardware.
Remember how they like lifted us up on their shoulders and like paraded us around?
Chanting.
Yeah.
They named a day after you, gave you the key to the city.
What a day. Yeah. But I think that is both of our answers.
Yeah. Though I have attempted things like that many times. Yeah. And it's really stupid and pointless and a waste of time. But I just want to do
humans,
it.
Man.
I just want to do it. I want to see what's over there. And sometimes there's stuff over there, and I love that. You hear about, like, I don't know if you've seen the like that dissection of the playable trailer, the PT demo, where it's like, oh, you actually can get outside, and there actually is stuff out there if you like no clip with the camera and things like that. Or like in Resident Evil 4, how there's like, stuff way off in the distance over here that was probably just where they were like grabbing items from and you were never supposed to see it. But just I love finding those little zones that you're never supposed to see.
Matthew, you're stroking your beard.
So I'm going to come at this from a completely different angle.
Please.
This is a story which I quite enjoy telling. It's a pretty funny one. So,
I'll be the judge of that.
Not a heavy drug user. When I was at university or whatever. Classic. Someone had brownies, right? And you do the thing, and everyone has done this, where you eat half of one, and they go, watch out, it's really strong. And you go, okay. And then you wait like an hour, and you go, I'm not feeling shit. These are fucking rubbish. So then you go, I'll just have another one, I'll go home, right? And then I remember very clearly like opening my front door and just like falling on the ground, right? And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? My brain went like this. It went, what you need to do is you need to find something to focus on and just focus on it, right? And then if you're focusing on something, you're not going to just slowly detach from the earth and fly into the sky. And at the time,
no one will think you're weird.
I was like, okay, well, I just started getting into emulators, right? So I was like, okay, I've got a bunch of old Williams type, Defender, Robotron, things like that, right? I was playing those. So I'll just load one of those up and I'll put in a lot of credits and I'll play that because they're very intense, right? I'll play them. And I chose to play Bubbles, which is not one of the better known games of that era, basically, but it's like you're playing this little bubble in kind of like a sink and you're collecting things and
not
stuff
a good
like
game.
that.
I'm just going to pipe in and just say Bubbles, not a
right,
good game.
It's not good, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? One of the things in that game is in the middle of the sink, there is a plug hole, right? Now, you are meant to avoid that plug hole. But what I did instead was, and I genuinely have no idea for how long I did this, potentially hours, I just started the game and you spawned up in front of it and just rolled it down the middle.
You were
and every time
speedrunning
that happened,
death.
Yes, and every time it happened, I was like, I'm fucking amazing at this game. I'm getting to the levels
better every time.
So quickly. I honestly thought every time I went, I was going to the next level. I was like that far away because I'd put so many credits in or whatever like that. Or maybe I put in infinite lives or something like that. So I was just going, holding down essentially and just dying.
Oh, I got one of these too.
I was just like, I'm the best ever at this game. And until my roommate or whoever came back in, looked at me and went, what are you doing? Why are you just killing yourself?
Why are you so bad at this game?
And I was like,
well, why weren't you getting a game over?
I honestly don't remember, but maybe I was. I just was so out of it that I was like not even paying attention. But I just remember just
sounds like you put in
100
credits, so you were just
like F3 or whatever it was at the time on MAME or whatever to just add loads and loads of credits, and just going for it. But yeah,
incredible.
I have a version of that when I was a small child with an Atari. My dad's Atari, I think it was, and he had Defender. As a small child, you don't understand how to play Defender. That's way too complicated. But I thought it was essentially a horizontal shooter. I thought progress meant going right. And Defender wraps infinitely if you go right. You know,
you think you're on a new screen every time.
I think I'm going forward towards something, right? So I discovered, because I'm so smart, that if you go to the bottom of the screen, you know, basically the ground plane on Defender, enemies can't touch you. And I was like, aha, I found something that they didn't think of. And so I went to the bottom of the screen and just held right and just flew a really long time. And then eventually, they destroy the Earth if you allow them, if you don't take them down. Like the screen flashes and the ground's gone. And when that happened, I went, I've gotten out of Earth's atmosphere. I'm continuing my progress. so that is my version of that. And I mean, for those not watching the video, Mathew just kind of like shrugged, as in like, yeah, makes sense. I agree. Makes sense.
There you go.
I mean, it's like you probably lived longer than the average player of a Defender anyway. Like, right. I love that game, but I probably have never got past the third level. So, like...
just a minor one is every time I've been grinding in an RPG or action RPG, I feel like I deserve a small award for that.
When you hit the big round number.
There's one of Working Designs. I guess it was maybe their third game ever that they worked on. Exile Wicked Phenomenon. They love to change the numbers on those games so that they would be friendlier or harder. Whatever they did was always wrong. They always messed it up. And in this case, what they did was made an error where you essentially had to get to level 99 to get past like the second area because they screwed up right before shipping. And I did do that. I found an area where you could farm, and I was just farming. And I wasn't like, I didn't tape a rubber band around my controller or anything. Like, you couldn't do that because you had to move back and forth to get them to respawn and stuff. Also, anytime I've ever gotten a rare drop in Castlevania, that counts too. In any of the Igavanias, those goddamn things, just entering and re-entering a room. Why do we do these things?
I'm very proud of you for what it's worth.
Thank you.
All of you, you've each done incredible things. And speaking of incredible things, this footage of Gran Turismo 7 featuring a custom Nikomaki Civic Type R designed by my partner Ripley has me wondering, what is the anime waifu wrap on your car of video games?
Well, it used to be Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox skins.
Oh, sure, the plates or the
but also for your like your desktop theme, your home screen theme. I had Idolmaster. I think I still have access to Idolmaster. I don't like Idolmaster, but I had a Japanese 360, and because I had that Japanese 360 that came with this theme on it, I was able to put that theme on an American 360 because it was tied to my account, not to the and I was very proud of this very stupid thing for no reason.
But having these anime girls every time you start your Xbox.
Indeed. So I think something like that in 2008 at least.
I think I actually have a Left 4 Dead skin on my background or whatever on my Xbox 360 that theme. I believe I specifically bought a copy of Xbox 360 magazine to get, which is like, seems crazy to me now. But then I was like, there's some demos on here as well. Why don't, like, it's wild to imagine nowadays, like buying a magazine to get a disc on the cover so that you can then do something like even at the Xbox era, that's what it was. It's kind of wild.
It's wild to imagine buying a magazine, frankly.
I do remember the PSM magazine had big stickers in every issue that you were supposed to put. Yeah. Oh, yes, lid covers on the PS1. And I believe I used one, though I couldn't tell you what was on it now.
If you have issue 1 with the lid cover intact, you have a $100 eBay item, my friend.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Memory card stickers. That's another one.
There you go.
That's also in the past. We're receding further into the past. But
we're falling back further.
Get your Magic Knight Ray Earth or Sakura Taisen sticker.
I'm going to go way simpler than all of this. It's a Triforce tattoo.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, is that showy enough? I mean, I feel like the thing about your big waifu thing on your sports card, or even your, your basic, like,
everybody
Honda Fit
sees
or whatever,
that.
Like, you're really showing off, right? Like, I think to my perspective, like one of the sad things is that like people don't really carry handhelds anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you have a Steam Deck, you're usually not like people. I don't see anyone playing that out in the world, right? Like I can't remember the last time everyone just carries
their phone. You don't see them wearing it like a
Yeah.
necklace on.
Yeah, like whereas like even like the 3DS generation, like we had those like plates, right? So I like that's another situation where I went out of my way to get. I went to buy those, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, Chiari Pamu, I think it is.
Oh yeah,
she had
Pamu.
Yeah, she had very cool 3DS official 3DS plates that I bought a set of, like which are probably worth money now. I actually don't know. But yeah, like even that, like it used to be like there was at that era, Nintendo was like people are going to want to show off their 3DS, so here's we're going to do this plate thing, right? Whereas now, like you get all those D brand or whatever it is, stickers and stuff for Steam Decks and stuff, but you never see anyone in public with them. So like there isn't really like I suppose the closest thing is like some sort of really insane sleeve tattoo of.
Wait,
or
isn't
a phone
it?
case.
Isn't
Phone
it?
case would do it too.
Isn't it like tricking
case.
out your desktop PC with a bunch of lights and tubes and such?
You got
and like a light
right
keyboard and
there.
everything. You got lighting
Decal
behind your monitor.
of your favorite VTuber on the glass or whatever.
Yeah, modern computer design's
Nailed
awful. Like mine's just like it's black
RGB
metal.
mouse pad for some reason.
And then PC parts cost as much as a car now, so like it's basically exactly the same
thing.
Good answer. Good answer.
Nice.
Well, with that, we can move into our lightning round. And if I'm hosting, you know that it's going to be name design all Magic the Gathering cards.
Nice.
But specifically, to be even more indulgent for me, these are all Odyssey block bangers.
We're talking about the Magnavox Odyssey. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. These are all going to be Magnavox Odyssey games. If you're not familiar with name design, the way it works is I'm going to give these guys the name of a Magic the Gathering card, and they are going to design a video game based on that name alone. We start with a card called Acceptable Losses.
Ooh, this is very... acceptable losses is either a very personal indie game about mourning.
I think it is.
Or it's a comedy game about running a funeral home. It's one of the two, and there's nothing in between.
Well, it could also be a management sim. Business management sim.
Yeah. I'm not working on
but that's not as good.
I only work on games about dead people. Yeah.
I like the other
two. What your losses are and what you can handle. It's a business that is always going to be failing.
Yes.
Next game is Cunning Wish.
Definitely Japanese. It's a Japanese 3DS game.
I was gonna say it was a Korean game, but we're in the same genre. I feel like it's a like an early 2000s Korean PC RPG that has nothing to do with that title at all. That's what I think it is.
It could be one of those modern Chinese FMV games, right? Where you're like a princess or something, and your cunning wish is to get the prince or whatever. That seems like very much like the name of one of those games that are currently.
That's good, bringing it into the modern era.
Burning up the charts.
Basking Rootwalla.
What's a Rootwalla?
What is a Rootwalla?
The little guy. It's a little lizard, apparently. And I believe it's a real creature. I don't believe it was made for the game.
Yeah, it sounds Australian.
I think it's like an Australian mascot platformer. He's called Baskin, like Baskin with like an apostrophe. Baskin Rootwalla, and maybe also with an apostrophe. And he's like jumping around, throwing boomerangs. Sorry, Australia.
And you collect ice cream in there from when they were trying to get the Baskin Robbins
but they did
license,
not,
but they couldn't get it. But the ice cream, but it's still ice cream. It's just generic ice cream that you collect.
And also, it's on Facebook. It's not like an Amiga game. It was like a Facebook game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next game, Faceless Butcher, which would not be on Facebook.
Ooh.
No.
Creepypasta type horror game, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones on like Steam, which is like doesn't cost very much, and it's just totally broken. It's like when you start playing it, it's like
it also has 100,000 reviews.
It's all like Unity Asset Store flip stuff, and it's just like, weird liminal spaces, but only because they didn't bother to decorate them, and then half the time it crashes.
It was made by like one of the biggest FNAF YouTuber creators, and it was his first game, and so everybody just bought it anyway.
And the only reason any of us have heard of it is because it was in the awful block at GDQ one year.
Right.
All right, next game is going to be called Gallantry.
That's got to be a PC Engine RPG, surely. Like, that's the type of name they had.
I see that.
Gallantry, I was thinking of like a 4X simulator. But I'm happier with it being a PC Engine RPG. You know, give me more of those.
I had a Defender of the Crown thing going in my head, so all three very different answers.
Yeah, I think that it's a PC Engine RPG that's actually based on like a PC 88, game or whatever like that, like one of those like really old, crusty, kind of wizardry era RPGs, but like the version where it plays a PC Engine version because they
because it scrolls.
Grinding.
I mean, that other one didn't scroll.
The scrolling works.
It's
And actually, certain people really love it, but that's like not that many people.
Yeah,
I like that. Tell me about the game Hunting Grounds.
Isn't there a game already called Hunting Grounds?
Oh, is there?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there is.
I'm pretty sure there's a Hunting Grounds game, but
there's Predator Hunting Grounds, isn't there? And then I think there's maybe just one called Hunting Grounds.
Okay, so this is perfect then.
I like making this a PS2 like kind of horror-ish video game with aesthetics of one of those Cabela's deer hunting games.
Yeah, it was a very late era Acclaim game. It's like when they were trying to like save their business, and it was an original. It was like BMX XXX and was next to Hunting Ground.
Oh,
on
shelves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for more of an falling down situation. You're like a office worker guy. You're trying to get some coffee, but when you open the jar thing, there are no coffee grounds in there, so you sort of flip out. You get your AK-47, you start killing dudes to hunt grounds.
Right, because there's too many immigrants. That's the point of that movie.
Yeah.
So Postal is...
There's just too many non-Caucasians in this town. I didn't pick up on that when I first watched that movie. When I was a child.
It's just very racist.
I haven't seen it since then,
I watched it as an adult, and it's like, oh boy, what new ethnicity is going to rankle him next?
The only part of that movie I remember is the bit with like McDonald's, which I always get confused with Big Daddy, because it's the same scene, isn't it, where they're getting annoyed about what time breakfast ends?
Yeah.
Brings us to our last card, Bamboozle.
Bamboozled.
Now is that not a game as well, Bamboozle? Or it's a card game maybe, isn't it? A different card game? Am I imagining that?
Could be. Party game of some kind.
Oh no, Bamboozle. We're gonna go full British core here, guys. I'm so sorry.
It is. It totally is. Yeah, we're all going there.
But Bamboozle was the name of, on Teletext, the daily quiz you could play in the UK. So that's like, and it was presented by Bamber Boozle. So like you accidentally opened this door for me to get fully British on the show. So well done.
So this is
I think
at-home version.
You know, we bring it back.
Yeah.
We bring it back, and it's like You Don't Know Jack British edition. You Don't Know Union Jack is what it is.
Which actually aligns with a previous game because, people like me call that the Butcher's Apron. So that is the Faceless Butcher's Apron.
There we go.
The Faceless Butcher's Apron. You know what, Mathew, Kumar, you win this episode. Congratulations.
Wow.
You have a credit. I'm
building up those
so
credits,
proud
baby.
of you.
I'm gonna get more. And then I make you do stuff.
I'm gonna try to bookmark something that popped in my head just then, which was "You Don't Know Jacques" is the name of something. So I'm gonna,
we're going international.
Save that one
here.
I'm gonna save that
French
one for something. Yeah,
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, look out for that one in a future episode of Insert Credit, everyone.
Stay tuned. Does anybody have anything that you think our audience might enjoy that you would like to recommend to them in any fashion?
I have way fewer than usual, but
oh no,
because I have not been. Once again, I'm in a situation where I've been watching and listening to a lot of bad stuff. But I do have the one that I saved that I don't know. I don't know if this actually made it to a show before. But when I was like, wait, I have a recommendation. Oh no, I need to save that for when there's a Canadian on. But now
I do remember this.
We have a Canadian on, and you've probably seen this movie. Have you seen Skip Tracer, Mathew Kumar?
I actually haven't seen Skip Tracer, but my friends have shown it in the cinema, I believe, actually, Skip Tracer. Yeah, I know of it.
Yeah, so your buddy Justin...
he put it on Blu-ray,
put it out
right?
on Blu-ray,
yeah.
And that's where I purchased it. Skip Tracer is a low-budget 70s Toronto. It's some people wanted to call it like a Repo Man adjacent thing. It's not really. It is about a repossession type person, but it's very like... If you ever were curious to see what a gritty 70s procedural type of thriller would be in Canada, this is it. Because like, you know, your Dirty Harrys and whatnot, they're all set in New York or Chicago or you know, places like that, and it's kind of neat to see one that's set in Canada and all these tough guys saying about and stuff like that. So that's my recommendation. Check out Skip Tracer if you get the opportunity. Gold Ninja Video, I think, is still selling copies of it if you just want to get the Blu-ray.
Yeah, he's actually just putting out a new lost, I think, Canadian silent film, The Devil Bear.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's doing really good work, and you should support that. So you should definitely go to goldninjavideo.com.
It's true.
It's a team-up recommendation.
Yeah, I'd want to recommend some more stuff as well, though, actually. But I'll it was actually going to be a different movie, but it's one which it was also a Justin recommendation to me. We watched it together. There is a Blu-ray set that's called something like Backyard Bloodbaths. It's by, I forget the name of the people who did it, but you can get it from like Vinegar Syndrome, basically, if you want to buy it.
It'll be in the show notes.
And there are like multiple films on that Blu-ray, right? But the one I want to specifically talk about is a movie called Black Mamba by a lady called Belinda M. Wilson. It's a movie which I actively think is impossible to explain, like in a way that anyone could ever prepare anyone for. But the basic thing is that there's this witch called Black Mamba, and people come to her for their problems, right? It's kind of an anthology movie, but you have to understand that, and this is not really spoilers. The first story makes sense, right? It's like a couple come to her because they want to have a child and they can't have a child, right? The second story is about someone who wants to be beautiful, and that's the thing. The third story, the guy just wants to hang out with mermaids. And he goes and hangs out with mermaids. I mean, like, but I'm really not bringing it across. In fact, I'm really doing such a bad job of explaining this movie because there is so much compositing and stuff in this movie that just makes no sense. There are scenes where characters are standing outside talking just on the street where you'd be like, oh, just film in the street. No, all full composited backdrops. A character hands other character a flyer, and the flyer is composited into his hand. There's so much like weird stuff as well in the back. When Black Mamba's doing her magic, she has a whole like cupboard like full of jars where there's all these weird little guys moving around. And this movie has clearly been made for no budget whatsoever. You will see things in this movie where you're like, why would anyone have done it this way? It doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, there's so much like belief and like I don't know how to express it. Like, there's a real like joy of life in this movie. I can't explain it.
Is it kind of like how the Wakaliwood guys do it?
It doesn't look like a Wakaliwood movie at all. It's clearly made in like New Jersey or something, but it's somebody who has no understanding this of how to make a movie, but they're so determined to make it that it ends up with this sort of like incredibly insane and wonderful piece of outsider art. Basically, it's very funny. Right, you will laugh at this movie, but it's also kind of intentionally funny. The entire sequence with the guy who wants to meet mermaids so bad is so intentionally funny and so good, but at the same time, it's just like so weird and it ends so bizarrely, and it's also so like horrific at points. There's a sort of a aspect of lo-fi horror sometimes where it's so off-kilter that you find it more disturbing than if it was like real looking. Yeah. I genuinely think it's one of the best things I've seen. The minute it finished, I thought, I'm going to watch this again immediately. You can buy it, like Backyard Bloodbaths from Vinegar Syndrome or somewhere like that. I cannot recommend it more highly. And like, get the whole family in. Your mom, your dad, small children, just all watch it together. Maybe not small children. But I highly recommend Black Mamba.
I've always avoided those because a lot of those straight to video horror things wind up being pretty they're tough to watch.
This one is never, I'll promise you right now, this movie is never boring. There is always something happening on screen. There like if characters are standing talking, like there'll be like a CGI cockroach in the wall or something like moving. You'd be like, why would she bother doing that? It doesn't add anything to the scene. And it's just like, because that's just what she wanted to do. She's made multiple movies. My understanding is this is the only, it actually was, funnily enough, Justin talked about in his other podcast, which I recommend, Important Cinema Club. He talked about the movies of Belinda M. Wilson, and you could listen to that if you want more helpful details about this movie. But seriously, Black Mamba, it's discovered the year, even though it's made in 2016. Yeah, a feast, you would say. A visual feast.
Frank, you got anything?
I just wanted to kind of add on to the idea of supporting people who are preserving rare film commercially, and an outlet that I really like, even though I don't buy physical media anymore. I just like appreciate them from a distance. Is Thunderbean, which is an outlet that preserves very old animation. Like they've been going back to actual like film for very, very old cartoons from like the 20s and 30s and remastering them in a way that they actually, look like they would have back then, as opposed to the like several generations of video copies that we had before of some of this stuff. So things like the old Betty Boops and Flip the Frog and like the very, very old Felix and Oswald.
The original Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, actual old Tom and Jerry. The Out of the Inkwell from the Fleischers before Popeye does that stuff. Yeah, I have a pretty small tolerance for watching more than like 20 minutes at a time of stuff like this. It's very difficult, but I really appreciate their work. And if that's something that you might enjoy and weren't aware of Thunderbean, go look them up. They do really, really good work.
Yeah, I've recommended them on the show before as well.
You have, that's right. That's right.
And if you want one that you could probably get through, check out the Halloween cartoons one, because it's all skeletons and songs and witches and stuff. It makes it
things.
Like they're all cool, but I agree. Like Frank says, once you watch 2 or 3 of them, you're like, all right. But it's great that they're doing it.
Sometimes it's cool, especially these older things like old animation stuff. You could just put them on and just vibe with them. You don't need to like give them your full attention.
Yeah.
Like often, like especially these older animations, things like that, these ones you're talking about, like especially when they're super crisp, as you're talking about, they're all restored and shit. They just look so nice to just like luxuriate with, rather than really be like, what's a skeleton up to? Playing his ribs, I see.
Now, why would he do that? What's the motivation here?
That bird that's also a skeleton is a wee bit off the beat. Well, I'm gonna have to mark my letterbox review down a couple of points.
Well, I mean, it's like trying to actually play like an Atari 2600 game, like genuinely, like I'm going to go for the high scores. Like we don't live in that time anymore. And
my brain doesn't work that way.
This is from a time when people were like, oh my God, the drawing's moving, so.
Well, also, most of these were
not
like
there anymore.
They were like, you would only watch one of these before your feature film.
Right.
It was like this was a teaser to warm the crowd up before they watched the African Queen or whatever.
A little bit of spectacle.
Yeah.
Get their newsreel in, get their jazz in, and then get their movie. Yeah.
My recommendation is the same thing I've been recommending for months now. Go get Blippo Plus. It's under $10 on the Switch. You'll have a real good time with that. I would also like to recommend that if you enjoyed this or any episode of Insert Credit, please rate and review our show wherever and however you can. You can also support us directly with your donations on patreon.com/insertcredit. If you'd like to sponsor our show with an advertisement or personal message, you can contact us at show@insertcredit.com. You can also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or find us on youtube.com/insertcreditshow. Go check out Every Game I Finished, an EXP zine by Mathew Kumar, Demon School by Necrosoft Games and Brandon Sheffield, didn't make it just himself, and donate to the Video Game History Foundation. Tax season's coming up. Write it off. I did. This episode is edited by me, Esper Quinn, with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Esper Quinn.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And I was Mathew Kumar.
And your game has now been saved. You guys did not get the extra point for everybody, which true. I can now explain. For the past 2 episodes in a row, unprompted, Alanis Morissette's Ironic has come up. And if that happened a third time, everyone would have gotten extra credit. But alas.
Nothing ironic
that's
happened.
Ironic, don't you think?
It's even more ironic in a way.
Yeah, it's ironic that it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's better this way.
Is it Alanis Morissette ironic that it didn't happen, or regular ironic?
Yeah,
Alanis Morissette ironic. It's a jagged little pill to swallow, but
isn't it actual? I think it's actual ironic.
I think it's actual. No.
I think it's really worth figuring out.
It's worth figuring out.
Let's spend another couple hours here.